Hi friends, welcome to this guided exploration and integration of heart intelligence. The heart has been spoken about in so many different spiritual traditions and healing modalities. We know that it's a very, very essential part of us. And even now, science shows that we have neuronal activity within the heart. So this has intelligence just like the head brain does. And often what we hear it referenced towards is sometimes within spiritual traditions, it is the seat of the soul. It's the seat of that spiritual connection. But we also often hear it referenced to as our place of personal connection to others, compassion, empathy, a space of what we value or what we feel is most important to us. So let's drop into this intelligence. We're going to use the breath to help us to guide the attention awareness into the body. So let's first just draw our attention to the breath itself and just check in with the breath. How is it currently feeling? And nothing to change, nothing to judge here, just an opportunity to check in with how is our breath currently? Does it feel slow? Does it feel fast? Does it feel full or does it feel small? Where does it feel like it's coming from within the body? Does it feel supportive or not so supportive? And as we start to just check in with the breath and feel into it, let's now start to slow the breath down a little bit. Make it a bit more gentle. Bring some softness into the breath. And as we invite that softness in, allowing the exhale to become longer, slower, softer, and making sure that the exhale feels complete. Then on the inhales, just allowing whatever needs to come in to come back in. We don't need to necessarily take really big breaths, especially since we're at rest at this point, but you adjust to whatever feels right for you. So just allowing whatever comes in to feel like that's enough, and then releasing it completely and fully and slowly. Nothing to push and pull here, just allowing the breath to come in and then releasing the breath back out. And as you start to let the breath just flow through the body, starting to feel an openness as it comes in through the nose, into the back of the throat, down through the entirety of the neck and throat, into the chest, and then wherever it moves from there. So if you feel it down deep in the belly, let it expand into that space. If you can feel it in the back, allow it into that space, even into the side ribs. And what's really important here is to just allow the breath to move how it needs to and allow it to start to invite some spaciousness, especially into that area that we refer to as the heart space. So starting to invite the breath more specifically into the heart space. And wherever that is for you, if it's a very specific spot or more of a generalized space, it doesn't matter. This is completely up to you. So just begin to invite the breath to come right into wherever that is for you that you feel is the heart space. And without trying to figure anything out, just with curiosity, starting to take notice of what does this space feel like? Does it feel open? Does it feel more closed? Does it feel like it has a lot of spaciousness to it? Or does it feel a little small, maybe a bit tight? Does it have a sense of activeness to it? Or does it feel more still or calm? Also checking in with temperature. Does it feel warm? Does it feel cool? Does it feel neutral? And also just taking notice if there's a combination of all of these or any of these, especially if it's in different areas. So perhaps the left side feels different from the right side. The top feels different from the bottom. The front feels different from the back. And again, nothing to figure out here. You don't even need to make any sort of connection to purpose or reason. This is just curiosity and observation. And the more that we can stay in this place, the better. As you explore through that sensation, just making sure that the breath continues to move, nice long exhales that feel complete, allowing whatever comes back in within the inhale to just enter the body with ease. Now starting to notice, are there any visuals present here? Are there colors, shapes, textures, any type of movement that you can see? Does it look light? Does it look dark? And starting to open up to any thoughts, any feelings, any ideas or words that come forward, and making sure that we don't become attached to any of that, but just the curiosity, the openness. Is there something that keeps popping forward and wanting our attention? And if it does, offering it some attention without the need to get attached to it. Nothing to solve, nothing to fix, nothing to do anything with. Just be there with it. Just observe. Just watch. Now with this awareness of the sensations that are happening here, the colors, the textures, the visuals, the messages that are happening, what happens if you start to get curious about compassion or empathy? Whatever feels right to you. I know that different people have different relationships with those words, so whatever word feels right for you. But as you hold that sense of compassion or empathy, what changes? Does the spaciousness change? Does the temperature change? Does the movement change? And as it does, let it change. And again, we don't have to make sense of it. We don't have to put any reason to it. We're just here to experience and explore with curiosity and openness. Also checking in with the visuals. Does anything happen with the colors, with the lightness or the darkness? Do we see any patterns start to form? Perhaps a certain person or a relationship, or even an animal or a plant starts to come forward. And as we tune into compassion or empathy, also checking in with the breath here. And did something happen with the breath? Did something shift or change within the breath? If something has happened to cause the breath to become smaller or more tight, anything that has shortened, just invite the breath back to that full and complete exhale with ease, allowing whatever comes back in on the inhale. And if you do notice that anything feels a bit sticky or blocked, or if there's maybe a bit of resistance in any space within that heart area, can the breath invite some ease or spaciousness to that area? We definitely don't want to try to force anything to change or be different, but can that little bit of ease that you're finding within the breath, can we offer that to that space? So if you're feeling any blocks, any resistance, any tightness, anything sticky, just using the breath to connect with that space. May even check in with that space and see if there's something specific that's needed there. And if it's something that you can feed it, especially through the breath, just offering that to whatever might feel sticky, blocked, resistant. And for those of you that you're not feeling any resistance, any stickiness, just continuing to let the breath evolve and move. Let this change. We don't need to get stuck. We don't need to get attached to anything we've seen, anything we've felt. So whether it is a stickiness or a resistance, or whether it's a total sense of openness and relaxation, just let things continue to evolve. Let them change with each breath. Let compassion, let empathy continue to move. And as you continue to let this evolve, you continue to let it change and shape its way through you. What are you noticing? What's the relationship that you're feeling to that heart space right now? What's the relationship to compassion, to empathy? There's nothing to judge, nothing to fix, nothing to change, nothing to force. Just the awareness itself can create so much change. And if we allow that, we may see some things, feel some things, experience some things we did not know were there. And if you can tune into something here that does feel supportive, even if you're finding some resistance in some spaces, bringing attention to what feels supportive. And with that supportive space, if it feels right, just turning up the volume a bit. So letting whatever is there start to grow. Allow it to get a little bit bigger, brighter, fuller, more substantial. And can you invite this support to the rest of the body? The support of the heart, the support of compassion and empathy. Whatever aspect of it that you feel supported by right now, can you offer that support to somewhere else within the body? Perhaps trying to connect it with the busy head brain that does a lot of thinking, a lot of analytical processing. Can you invite what feels supportive within the heart to that space and see what it offers that space? Allowing the breath to create that connection between the heart and the head. Allowing those spaces to feel more connected, more integrated, as if they can start to communicate with each other. And then allowing the heart to connect deeper into the belly space. Offering that belly space, that gut intelligence, something, a piece of support from that compassion, empathy. Again, letting the breath create that integration, that connection from heart to deep within that belly space. And if it feels right, starting to feel the flow between the heart and the head, back down to the heart to belly space or gut, whatever feels right for you. Almost like this figure 8 starts to form. And you start to feel this integration, this connection between the intelligences of the body. Just taking a few more breaths, allowing the breath to move from heart to head, from heart to belly. Having that heart be the centerpiece that just brings everything back together. Then starting to allow that integration to expand further out into the organs, out into the cells. Maybe even letting it start to come to the surface of the skin. Moving past the surface of the skin into the space around you. If it feels right, even letting that reach out to the people you surround yourself with. Letting it expand and offer something to the world around you. And as you just take a few more breaths here, If it feels right, you could allow the breath to expand a bit, maybe a bit fuller, deeper breath to create that expansive sense. If it feels like it's needed, you could take a deeper breath and even an audible sigh out the mouth. If it feels right to maybe give yourself a little shimmy within your seat, a little stretch, a little movement, whatever the body feels like it needs right now. Just trust whatever the body tells you. And slowly and gently letting the attention come back to the space around you, while also carrying what you've brought out within this experience. So carrying whatever that energy was of empathy and compassion and that heart intelligence back into the awareness around you. Sometimes it feels good to blink the eyes a couple times as you open them. And once again, just giving the body whatever it needs, giving the breath whatever it needs, letting the breath just come back into a natural, supportive pattern for you. And if it's accessible, my invitation to you would be to grab a journal, grab the Notes app within your phone, maybe even just a voice note within your phone, just to share with yourself what happened within this experience. And again, I would encourage you not to get too concerned about making sense of it and having to connect too many of the dots here, because that'll honestly happen naturally throughout that process of just journaling it out or speaking it out. So I hope this was enjoyable. I hope it was supportive for you. And especially if you're feeling like that heart space is a bit tight or blocked or reserved right now, I'd encourage you to come back to this practice pretty often. And the more that we visit these body intelligences, the more that we reconnect with our body wisdom, the more it will open up over time. So if you're feeling that blockage, revisit this as often as you want. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself.